There was no doubt anymore. Skynet had created a cybernetic organism. It was designed to blur the line between a man and a machine. People started to think that there were Terminators amongst us, wolves in sheep's clothes. Some of us left, even though we hadn't seen any other infiltrators yet. Or at least, we didn't think we had. And that fear of not knowing was what turned the tide of this war. That night, Skynet won.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cade Plays Terminator Resistance.
So, for now, I would say no.
We need some more
Here it is.
I know you don't want to hear this, Commander.
Here's the boy.
The person who can help us is Dr. Mack.
Mack. We don't even know if he's alive.
He is.
It's John Connor. John Connor's on the radio. Is that John Connor? Tell him Jacob said hi.
You've been watching him without telling me?
Let your emotions cloud your judgment before, Commander. That's why I decided that Mack's whereabouts were no longer
This is
your
bullshit. He can't just magically fix all of our problems. He's a man, not a god.
Okay, there's some personal stuff coming out from the commander right here.
Time. He's the reason Perry's dead.
He's the reason Perry's dead.
Sergeant Rivers?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Rivers, that's a me.
The Dean mark for termination is a badge of honor. A sign that we're doing something right.
I mean,
We wear it
if
proudly.
Skynet wants me out of the way that badly, it must mean that I can cause them problems.
With handling this mission. Commander Barron will fill you in on the details. Good luck, soldier. Over and out.
Alright, you got it, John Connor.
Hollywood Hills. Dr. Edwin Mack is the one who taught us how to use Skynet's weapons. So
Okay.
There's a chance he can do it again. Take him that second-generation plasma rifle and see if he's able to reprogram it.
Can you reprogram a second-generation
Skynet's
plasma
weapons,
rifle?
We need to bypass their encryption lockouts.
Seems like something that can be done.
He's obsessed with surveillance. So when you get there, look for any cameras,
Cameras,
biometric
biometric sensors, or
any
other tech
tech
stuff.
He should be around. That's it.
Alright. We've completed hunting season. Alvin?
Sure, let's trust someone who gets called Dr. Death. That won't bite us in
Look,
the ass.
Dr. Death Steve Williams was called Dr. Death, and he was a great guy.
We acquired from the
Wrestling.
infiltrator. This could be the breakthrough that we've all been waiting for. I need to concentrate, so please don't disturb me.
Okay. I'm calling this now. He is going to accidentally reactivate this thing. And then we're going to have to rush back and, like, fight it in these holes or something. Infiltrator's violet plasma. Alright. That should help. Commander Bay.
What do you need?
Is Mack the one whose drone you
Was
smashed?
Mack the one whose drone you smashed?
Yes. Yes, it was. I've never told this to anyone, but before I met
Oh.
Mack and Perry, I was wandering alone.
She was a scavenger child.
So I drew one myself. The first people I came across were two guys, old enough to remember Judgment Day. We camped out together. They gave me advice, we shared some stories.
And then
Sounds nice, right?
it does. A little too good to be true.
A little too good to be true.
It was. I was too naive to notice it back then. When I woke up, all my things were gone, including my map.
They robbed you.
I was lost in the desert. Thirst.
They robbed a child.
I knew I was gonna die. I passed out with my face in the sand. But next thing,
Don't-
I was lying in a bed.
Don't
bathed
steal
in
from
the
children in the post-apocalypse, everybody. I'm guessing there's no happy ending to this story, too.
I'm guessing there's no happy ending to this story.
I mean, it's Commander Barron.
We're starting to learn.
She doesn't do
Through
happy
the
endings.
window, I saw thousands of Terminators. First I
A
thought it was
Skynet
camp.
research facility?
There was something else.
Is she an infiltrator?
Research facility. They kept me alive, but I didn't know why. I thought I was
A
the
well-dressed,
only one.
clean-shaven man. Was he an infiltrator?
While someone
Damn it, they got me through...
A man.
See, then you're just... It gets you into this thing of, like, who's an infiltrator? Could be anybody, right?
Guess who that was?
It was an infiltrator.
In a way, he was a traitor to his race. Bastard was selling every piece of knowledge the machines didn't have.
So, wait.
They gave him
There was a human scientist collaborating with
Instead of
Skynet?
stuffing his face with food, he had another request. He wanted a hole.
Oh no. Oh no.
It lasted months.
That's a problem.
A towel around his neck and make his eyes pop.
Well, that sounds like the right thing to have done.
What they really are. I've seen their true face. That traitor, those two guys in the desert, Mack. They all showed it to me.
Wow. That's
The truth is,
I mean that will
fight for the resistance is because I
that will
despise
create the kind of personality that she is.
machines.
Is there anything I should know about Dr. Mack?
Anything I should know about Dr. Mack before I leave?
Only that he can't be trusted and he's highly manipulative. So you need to stay cautious.
Can't be trusted, and he's highly manipulative. Good to know what I'm dealing with. Ooh, research log for Dr. Alvin Scott. Oh, we're going to do a read here. After careful analysis, I've come to the conclusion that, under a microscope, the infiltrator's skin is indistinguishable from that of a human epidermis. They have approximately the same amount of nerve endings as humans. The skin is covered with hair follicles and sweat glands are functional. For all intents and purposes, the Terminator's skin could be categorized as a living tissue. It is advised that we learn more about how the skin reacts to various forms of stimuli. Perhaps the results could provide us with an idea of how to distinguish between Terminators and humans. What is even more impressive is its cardiovascular system, or should I say the vascular system, considering the infiltrators do not possess an organic heart. The pumping of the blood is carried out by a mechanical circulatory system, which is also responsible for filtering the blood. The cell count is nearly identical to that of humans. Its blood is a form of biofluid and should be handled with care. It is imperative that we avoid contaminating the sample. Man, it would be real nice if there was a test. It kind of reminds me of that, the Kurt Russell movie, Thing.
Do you have a minute?
The Thing.
Of course.
Oh,
I've heard
of course.
that you're going to Hollywood Hills. Well, with Baron,
Yeah, Baron,
shelter herd.
Baron be mad as
I wanted
hell.
to tell you if I needed anything, so here it is. When you get
Stop
to
by
Hollywood
your old
Hills,
house near the
just
Griffith
look
Park
for
tennis courts?
It's
I can do that.
Griffith
You want me to
Park
look for
tennis
Peter?
courts. I wonder if Peter went there and left something for me. I know
Maybe
he'd be stupid to
he
take
did.
it since now it's behind the annihilation line, but then again, he was always
I-
full of stupid ideas.
have an
See what I can
unfortunate
do.
suspicion that what I will find will be the remains of Peter.
He never talks to anyone. He just sits there.
Commander?
I bet he's one of those machines.
Wow, the paranoia really is getting into these guys, huh? They're not doing so good. Hey, I found your boombox, bro.
Jacob.
Ryan? You mentioned a new era starting?
Earlier, you said that a new era started. What changed?
Well, for one thing, with Tucker dead, I became the new leader of the group.
Yeah.
Something I never expected.
Well, some
or
of the
wanted.
best leaders are unwilling ones. Did everybody
Did
agree?
everyone agree that you should be the new leader?
Not everyone. We had a huge fight about food, where we should go next.
Yeah, human beings
Our group divided
in these kind of a
and come
times,
together.
they
I was
get
terrified.
stressed out, and
Started to
tribalism
walk away like I was on autopilot.
tribalism starts to run rampant.
Run away or to kill myself.
Okay, little dark.
Surreal.
Found a metal door in the ground in the middle of nowhere.
I found a metal
What-
door
what was there?
in the ground in the middle of nowhere. I was real unsure about what I might find under it.
The aftermath of a massacre. Perfect.
It was the aftermath of
See, this is why you don't go into random hatches in the ground, because sometimes
More Terminators?
they're just full of body
what I
parts.
thought at first, but it
Turned out to be something even more scary. Scarier than Terminators, was it,
It
people?
looked like they decided to commit suicide.
Oh, they did one of those little Jonestown packs.
To me, they had everything. Food, water.
Yep.
They even had a case of
Man,
beer.
some people just
So,
crack. They can't take it.
Shit-faced and started crying over my brother's death. But I realized
Did you mop the floors first? Did you get all the
I could maybe survive.
fluids? You stayed there on your own or what?
Did you stay there by yourself?
No, I told everybody about the place. I felt I owed them. After that, we were all right.
That night you
night,
learned two
I
things.
learned
What did
two
you learn,
things.
Brian? Tell us your lessons.
That
It's okay to be scared, and there are two sides to everybody.
that there are two
You know,
sides.
funnily enough,
Ironically,
I mean, that
being
is
a scaredy cat turned me into a good
that is
leader.
kind of a
That's
way to
how
think
I
about it,
found that
I
place,
suppose. I mean,
and
it's
that's
putting
what
a very
motivated
positive
me
spin
to
on
help
things, at
others.
least.
But Tucker, he was a leader from the start. But he had an
He's a
ugly
leader from the
side.
start, but he had an ugly side too.
Killed those who
That-
opposed him. He was a real scumbag, but he was my
I mean, look,
He made me want to be a good person. for
leadership
both of us. A hangover
sometimes
wasn't a high
forces
price
you
to pay for that lesson.
to have to be a sharper person than you might want to be.
What's the situation like in the shelter?
That's just
Not that great.
you got to
People
start
get
making
nervous.
potentially
A lot have
harsh
already
decisions.
Left and even more plan to leave. Even Mark and Laura saw him packing earlier.
And what about you?
Just the thought
Mark
of
and Laura
running
left.
was making me sick.
Labe,
Must be getting old. Plus, we got everything we could need right here. Where else? would
all
I
right, so
go?
you're ready to dig in for it then, huh, bud?
I have faith that Baron would never let anything happen to this.
Baron would never let anything happen to this place. I mean, you say she's uptight about security, but there's a fucking infiltrator laying in a state of potentially not completely dead, and just chilling on a table. Maxie, I don't care if every other character in this game dies. Maxie has to live. Like, if
Why do you think Skynet doesn't have
if Maxie
I don't think.
everyone's leaving?
if Maxie dies in this game, I delete the save. I delete the save and I never complete the game. I refuse to live in a video game world that is that evil. Just don't take my Maxie away from me. Now I need to go see the quartermaster, because that guy, I got some things that I think he may want. You want to you want to maybe laser guided RL-43 or a heat seeking rocket launcher. All right, first take these plasma rifles I don't need. And then I also wish I could buy a lot of your cool chips. But them shits is expensive as fuck. So I'm not doing it. I'll buy your medkits though, mate. What else do we need to buy here? So laser guided missiles, that's what I'm carrying. I've got laser guided missiles. So I could take a laser guided missile launcher. But then there's the plasma TC-16. That's fire rate 475. It's fire rate 125. I wish I knew what the damage over time was for the calculation. But like honestly, the resistance plasma rifles, I see these are the ones that don't require weapon skills, whereas the Skynet plasmas require weapon skills. So I feel like since they are the more locked out, they are probably the ones that are better. I don't necessarily know that follows. You know what? I will take a couple can grenades, though, my dude. And, like, I'm toying with the idea of buying this rocket launcher. But at the same time, I do have a suspicion that when the game needs me to have one, it'll give me one. And that I might instead buy more missiles for it. Right? Because the game seems to fairly frequently hand you the times that you need the stuff. The game pretty reliably hands you stuff. So what I'm thinking is I save the money, but then if I save the money, what am I saving it for? I could take a big chunk of this, I'll take all your chemicals, take all your fabrics. Still over 1,000 energy cells, and I've even got some violet energy cells these days. We getting bougie. Yeah, I'm sure there will be a time where I will find a rocket launcher. So I think I'm going to rely on that rather than buying one outright at this time. And you know what? I'll buy a bunch of pipe bombs just because they're kind of useful to have hanging around. Alright, that's me pretty well stocked from here out. Jennifer, how are you, Jen?
Jacob, I didn't see you there.
Hi. It's because I'm sneaky. Just ask Skynet. They never see me there, apart from when they do. Then they shoot me. You're not going to shoot me, are you?
Is
there something on your mind?
Actually, I have a secret to tell you.
I have a fan. Patrick really looks up to me.
Patrick really looks up to you.
Aw.
It's good for him to have a role model. And I don't think he could have chosen better.
Well, I'm glad to be a role model for Patrick. As long as he looks after Maxie. You know, I'm just going to be gracious and just say thank you.
It means a lot.
Appreciate it.
It's the least I can do for helping us all this time.
I helped you a little bit. You helped yourself a lot, too.
Back in Pasadena, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah, well, you probably would have gotten picked up and thrown against the side of a car by a T-800 till you died. They tend to do that. Or even worse, one of them infiltrators finds you and then just starts wailing the back of your head against a rock, or a wall, or a floor, or a gun. Knowing your father, I'm sure it wasn't a good joke.
Your father, it wouldn't have been a good joke.
No, it really wasn't. But I wanted to believe him.
So he was kind of like in denial of the annihilation line?
Worrying. Maybe a little too hard. You could feel the mood change at the house. The community my father tried to build started falling apart.
Yep. As time goes by,
and if they did,
people lose hope.
they weren't always friendly.
Things going missing. People got nervous.
Little things.
Did it ever get to you? Didn't we have this conversation?
Did it ever get to you?
Pretty sure we did.
For the first time in my life, there were only the three of us at the house.
I feel like this was the last
For a while,
conversation
my
we
father
had.
changed the sign from welcome to beware.
Put a lock on the door and started carrying a shotgun.
He started carrying a shotgun. I didn't even know he owned a gun.
He always said he didn't believe in them. I don't believe in guns. They're not real. Then somebody shoots you and you go, nope, you can't shoot me because that doesn't exist. The gun you're carrying does not exist.
Thanks for letting me spill my guts like that.
Hey, look, if you want to spill your guts to me, that's fine. Just don't spill your guts in front of Terminators. They like it when you do it, but it's not the thing you do. Is everything okay?
Everything okay? You seem far away.
Nothing can get past you, can it?
She's been thinking about the day we met. Never told us how she ended up there.
Told you how we really ended up.
Well, how did you end up there? I mean, look, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
If you don't want to.
No, I think I need this. It's been eating at me all this time.
Okay.
That day,
I guess I'm also a therapist.
loud hammering woke me up. When I came downstairs,
Your father was nailing the windows shut.
the window shut.
Yeah, what good was nailing the window shut going to do?
Hundreds of metal heads and their red eyes. Even though they're just empty shells.
Yeah.
I feel the hate.
So hundreds of Terminators versus some pieces of wood over a window. What did you do?
What'd you do?
I made Patrick stay upstairs and went back to talk to my father.
Yeah, did you try and convince him
argued
that
for a
he
minute
didn't
or
need to
two,
nail the
and
window
I
shut
walked
because
away.
it wasn't going to do a goddamn thing?
He pushed me away. I tried it again, but he shoved me. This time I fell.
Okay. Dude, he was panicking.
He was reaching for a shotgun. He said, I
Oh.
shouldn't worry about the machines. They wouldn't hurt us.
Oh no.
I don't even remember how. But the gun was already in my hands. I closed my eyes and went someplace else.
Oh no.
Didn't even hear the shot. I didn't hear Patrick's steps either.
Oh no. So what, her father kind of, I guess, went crazy and was gonna, what, he was gonna shoot both of them so that Skynet wouldn't mess him up? But she shot him?
He saw you?
He did. He was staring at me like I was a stranger. He didn't scream or cry. He just stared. I threw the gun away, grabbed Patrick, and tried not to notice.
Yeah,
the hole
okay,
in
yeah,
my
so
body.
she shot her father because he was,
As we ran, I could hear them coming.
I
so
guess,
we
going
found somewhere
to-
hide.
yeah, I guess he snapped and was gonna kill them.
I wanted to tell someone about all this, but I was afraid to.
You're good. You don't have to be afraid.
You don't have to be.
Everyone has a story like this in the post-Skynet apocalypse.
We talk a lot about how heartless the machines are. And I started to think that maybe I was too. I probably would have.
Hey man,
convinced myself
trust me,
that
the
it
more you
was
hang around,
me saying,
the more you hang around machines,
"Thank you
the more you start to think like one.
I never thought I would find a friend in times like these.
Trust me, I do IT.
Where are you going?
And I behave
Don't
like a
ask
server half the time.
Don't worry. I'm past thinking about running away.
Yeah, knowing how much you'd
Knowing
miss
how
me
much
made
you'd
me
miss
not want to
made me
leave.
not want to leave.
Who says I'd miss you? Where's Patrick?
Where's Patrick?
He's getting ready. I'm taking him with me. I figure it's time for him to see what's out there.
Oh, she gonna teach him how to be a scavenger boy. He's gonna grow up. I don't care, as long as Aaron's here looking after Maxie. Quartermaster, alright.
Is it true? They look human now?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing, man, but, like, don't worry about it. There's probably not one in here.
Well, what's with the dogs? They've been like that ever since they brought that thing in.
Oh, when the animals are acting up is when you know something's wrong. Something ain't how it's supposed to be. So we're gonna head out, and we will reconvene, you and I, dear viewer, in the next episode. Because I've been Cade, this has been Terminator Resistance. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.